So it was maybe not even a week ago that we got the, well, not confirmation, I guess, from Sony, but really heavy, really credibly sourced rumors that suggested that Sony was going to completely kind of change their strategy when it comes to timed exclusives for PlayStation 5 games. Basically, it sounds like they're not going to have these games go multi-platform after a certain period of time anymore. They are just going to have games that are PlayStation console exclusive, and that's it. They're not going to go on to Steam after a year or 3 years or 5 years. They're just console exclusives. Basically, they were just completely reversing their decision. And this is in complete contrast with what Xbox has been doing. Obviously, we know they've been going just all in on multi-platform releases. And the key here is that Xbox, they have not really been doing timed exclusives anymore. They are just doing day one releases on all platforms. Like I think even the new Halo is just going to be day one, Xbox, PC, PlayStation, maybe even Nintendo, I don't know. My point being, this is kind of the two things that have been different between Xbox and PlayStation when it comes to the multi-platform releases. Xbox is day one multi-platform, PlayStation, they are timed exclusives. And a new study is suggesting that that might actually be the reason why these games are apparently not doing very well when it comes to sales on the PC and the Steam platform when they eventually come out on PC. If this is true, this should kind of change up the whole attitude that Sony apparently has. You know, they're wanting to apparently just go back to exclusive PlayStation games because they're games that eventually get released on PC, they're not working out, but we might have the exact reason why they're not working out. The reason they're not working out could be very obvious. They just need to release it day one multi-platform for them to do much better. So this comes from GamesIndustry.biz. It's this article right here, and I have it linked in the description, and it is actually an article that it looks like is working specifically with Newzoo. This is a company, they are like a data research firm, I believe, and they collected and presented these numbers, and it looks like this was then published on a GamesIndustry.biz article. So it says Newzoo's data shows that PlayStation titles ported to PC after their console launch typically see PC account for around 13% of total players in the first 3 months across both releases. And this is all coming from Manu Rozier, who is the director of market intelligence at Newzoo. Now it says, by comparison, when comparable AAA titles launch simultaneously on PC and console, this is the day one multi-platform release, PC contributes closer to 44% of players in the same period. And they say what's notable is that this pattern is not specific to Sony's first-party portfolio. We see almost no difference between first-party PlayStation titles and third-party PlayStation exclusives, suggesting the outcome is primarily driven by the staggered release strategy rather than franchise demand on PC. So that's kind of a lot of numbers there, but basically they are saying that the numbers are showing that the delay in PC port releases is the actual reason why these sales are not doing well. Universally, when a game has a multi-platform day one release, it looks like PC, that contributes to about 44% of the player base. But when these timed exclusives then come out on PC, the PC market only makes up about 13%. This is obviously suggesting that by the time the game comes to PC, it's just, you know, there's a less interest overall in that game from the gaming community. It's not hard to wonder why that would be. The game's maybe been out for a year or 2 years, and, well, there's other stuff that people have their sights on by then. We also look at this part right here. I'm not going to read it word for word, but this part is actually suggesting that, you know, years ago when these timed exclusives started, the delay was not as long, whereas if you get more recent PlayStation timed exclusive games, the delay in which they come out for PC, it's now much longer, and they're seeing that these numbers are showing that, yes, this is very consistent with what is found. So years ago, when the timed exclusives, you know, didn't take that long to come out to PC, by the time they came out to PC, the share of players that were playing it on PC was much higher, whereas now, I guess the timed exclusives take longer to come out on PC, and the share of PC players is just lower. So it kind of sounds like the solution to this problem would not be for PlayStation just to say, yep, this ain't working, we're just going back to total exclusives on PlayStation consoles, but rather, hey, just release it to everyone, and the PC community community will definitely play that game. It's kind of crazy because, yeah, you know, Xbox, they are, I think, seeing this. They just want the biggest numbers. They want the biggest revenue when it comes to their games, and I definitely respect that. PlayStation, I'm sure they want the same thing. I just think they're looking at the numbers, it would seem, in the wrong way.